So you guys that don't know, I got a good friend that's a DOT officer. And whenever he comes to visit, he wastes no time looking over my trucks. So kind of him.
Hey, I try to help a guy out.
But I was just telling you, you have impeccable timing.
Well, yeah.
Like, my trucks can be in tip-top shape all year long.
Isn't that the way?
And then you show up and everything falls apart.
And that's the biggest excuse roadside is, everything was fine last week, and then you pull me over this week.
Well, you're just, I hate to say it, maybe you're just bad luck.
I don't know. I'm wanting to say I'm good luck, because I find a little thing.
Well, you'll have to tell a story real quick about how we met.
Well, it wasn't a dark and stormy night. 'Cause smart DOT bears, there's several things. We don't get wet. We don't get hungry. We don't get, No, gosh, I've been doing this. Well, been on the state police 14 years. Been doing the DOT side for 7 at least.
I was going to say, we've known each other for 6 or 7 years,
Yeah, and
we?
it was in the spring, because I had just gone through all winter and got my certification, was all excited, and was down in Tell City, and I saw this straight truck pulling a gooseneck trailer, and it just fit the description perfect of what we should be looking for. So hit the lights on you, and you pulled guiltily.
No, that's not the way. That's not the way it went. Hold on. You passed me, and I seen you, and I thought, oh crap.
And you said, oh crap, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I turned and I pulled into the Walmart parking lot.
Isn't that right?
And you pulled into the Walmart parking lot.
Like, he's running from me. He's running from me. And you're like, no, I was going to go.
I said I was trying to be nice. I figured you were going to do an inspection, and I wanted to be safe. I didn't want you to do it on the side of the road. I figured a parking lot was a much better situation.
Yeah. So long story short, about an hour later and an out of service or 2 later, and I said, here's my card. Call me if you need something. And about a week or 2 later, you called and said, would you be able to come out and look everything else over?
It's a lot easier to fix it in the shop than it is on the side of the road.
Exactly.
So.
And then, isn't it right?
And he's been a huge help ever since. Appreciate all the help for dang sure.
Well, yeah.
And you operate what's the name of it? The Indiana?
The long drawn out is Indiana State Police Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division Facebook
page.
But really ISPC VED. And my goal there is kind of like what we did that day, was just get out here, educate. I'm a big believer in education versus citations. Because the way I see it is, you could stop one guy along the road, find something nitpicky, write him a ticket that day. But why not try to educate guys, come out, work with them, do safety talks, and show them things that we're looking for, that's kind of that branch between what you're supposed to look for on your pre-trip and what we're looking for, and kind of bridge that gap.
Yeah,
so that's
education's key, and
exactly.
Yeah, me and you've put together a few trainings. We actually got one coming up in January. Get a bunch of the local guys together, and it's people. I guess Wade, for the example, whenever I introduced you to Wade, he was very, very skeptical, thinking this guy's going to come.
Wade, he was the perfect example of like rugged, logger. We fix things with duct tape and baling wire, and DOT's the devil and all this. And I mean, it was the perfect example. But even now, we've kind of molded him and shaped him into realizing that, hey, use this as an asset.
Yeah, he's been able to take some good information provided by you and keep all the trucks in compliance without breaking the banking. Just know what it's expected of you, roadside and in general. Because, some of the violations are obvious, brakes, tires, but there's just a lot of technicality stuff you can get caught on that's just quick and easy, simple fixes. So
exactly, exactly, and that's the way I promote the page, is just get it out there that if drivers have questions, just let us know. Let me know. I pride myself on trying to have a quick response rate, give you guys questions or answers to the questions that you're, after, and just to share that general knowledge. Because like I said, I'd much rather get on, do a video, do a little segment, teach 200 people how to do it right, than go out and nitpick on that one guy and just write one ticket.
Well, it's like You and I have talked several times. You know, you got a job to do, and we're out there trying to make a living, and we got to coexist together.
Exactly.
And we've both seen violations that need to be off the road, need to be addressed. You know, so it's a good thing.
Exactly.
Good thing what you guys do for sure.
Exactly. So. And you know, anymore people are so quick to be like, well, DOT's a bunch of revenuers and this and that. And I'm like, no, just think of the stuff that would be out there if we weren't out there. Yeah. Doing it.
And keep in mind that your family's going up and down the road with these trucks.
Exactly. So, and that's my biggest thing. And, you know, yeah, we could look over any piece of equipment and find things. Like last Monday, I kind of jokingly called it a show truck day. I had the luck of seeing 3 fancy trucks. Well, I asked anybody, pick one of the pictures, I can tell you the violations I could have found on them. Even though they were, pristine conditions, yeah, if you want to be nitpicky, but what I'm really after is the major components, you know, lug nuts, brakes, pads, drums. You know, I'm not after a piece of, you know, exactly, load securement. Like, yeah, we could sit here and go, oh, well, you know, the reflective material's going to be this long, but no, I'm looking at stuff like this that, the bigger picture.
Bigger safety items.
You know, and we could look at hoses and all this.
Well, wait a minute here. This trailer here, this is show quality. Like,
yeah, well.
I mean, this is.
Well, what's this one too?
Well, that's the air tank that's missing.
Oh, okay. Well, see.
But it's not a violation if it's not there.
Well, yeah, that's true. If it's been deleted, it's been deleted. So.
But you know what you were just saying though, a lot of that goes back to driver attitude. And how stuff gets approached on the side of the road.
It is, and I'm glad you mentioned that because you know driver's attitude. It's such a big thing. I kind of key off that and try to really put that because you know you get a driver that's lippy and wordy and well, what the F did you stop me for? And it's like, come on, bud, I got a job to do. I probably saw something. I want to look at something a little closer. Don't make it harder on yourself.
Right.
And the thing is, you know, throughout the course of the inspection, kind of like what you did that day. Hey, I'm starting up. I'm new to this. What are some things that I can look for to make it
well,
better?
And I think it also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it also helped before you ever did an inspection, I pretty much told you everything that was wrong with the truck.
Yeah, you were like, I think I got a brake problem here, and I was like, yeah, let me roll it. Yeah, brakes
spare tires bad, load securement's wrong.
Oh yeah, and I still laugh at that time. I text you, said, hey, I'm up near Patoka Lake, and you said, so are we. Meet us up, and I needed an inspection, and I'm like, okay, let's meet here. And we meet and pull in the lot, and I said, you need to leave right now. And you're like, what? Everything's good. And I'm like, no, you got knotted tie downs, and that's not right.
Hey, every day's a learning experience.
It is. And the thing is, and the big excuse that we hear is, oh, that just happened. And yes, there are things that they do just happen. Right. They do just break. Like, you know, if the way metal is, you can tell if something just broke. But you can also tell real quick if a crack's been there, it's got some rust in it. Right. Common sense goes a long way.
Right. Yeah, your steer tire showing cords just didn't happen between in the last 15 miles.
Exactly.
Or loose suspension parts.
Finding a nail in a tire with an active leak. Yes, that's something, you know,
right.
to where technically any active air leak is an automatic out of service. But if you treat the inspector, you know, with a little bit of dignity, just like you would want to be treated, he's probably going to, you know what, get off the road, find somewhere to park it, and do it that way. So that's the biggest thing out here is
well, since you have nothing better to do today, we're going to put you to work and put you on the other side of the badge fixing trucks instead of inspecting them.
Heck yeah. So, that's the best part. You got to learn a little bit.
I'm new at this YouTube thing, but I'll try to maybe find a link to your Facebook page and put it in the description. So, guys, if anybody on here wants some really good DOT information, and CVET is basically federal, correct?
Well, what it is, every state has their own branch, like commercial vehicle enforcement.
Okay.
In Indiana, we call it our commercial vehicle enforcement division, which basically that's just a long phrase. We're part of a branch of the state police. Like I'm a trooper that's cross-trained into the truck inspection part, and then we have our civilian motor carriers. But the overall program, the FMCSA, which is Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, or CVSA, is the one that kind of oversees all the trainings And yeah, so when you interact with an inspector, we're federally certified, which basically means that the person in Indiana going through a proper level 1 inspection is going to do it the same way as the guy in Texas or Wisconsin or wherever.
Which
We're all,
there are some there are some
Oh.
differences. I know like a lot of the hot shotters.
no.
A lot of the hot shotters
no.
have some differences as far as trailer lengths and stuff. But as far as the major bullet points, they're pretty similar across, I guess, United States
Exactly.
and Canada, correct?
Exactly, and there may be some variations in the way the federal codes are written. Some states will adopt their state statutes into different things, but here in Indiana, we got one blanket state law that says whatever's passed on the federal truck level, we adopt that into our statute. So in a nutshell, what that means is loose lug nut or loose flat tire 39375 means it's going to be considered a flat tire here and everywhere else. And what you're talking, different trailer lengths, like in this case, a semi-tractor, fifth wheel unit tractor, that's considered a, truck tractor. There's the overall length of the trailer's max of 53, and that's any state you go to. But if you had a gooseneck trailer and a pickup truck, that's a different combination set up. You're going to have to abide by the different states. Like here in Indiana, it's 65 feet. Some states it's 70, so on, just depending on wherever you're at. So that's a really good example. But, brake chambers, brake drums, lug nuts, that's all going to be under that federal guidelines there.
Guys, I'll do my best to get that link in the description. If you get a chance to check out his Facebook page, it is awesome. He's got a tremendous amount of good information on there. And what I like a lot of times is he may post a random violation he finds on the road or something. And it just gives you the thought process to, hey, next time I walk around the truck, maybe I need to look at that a little closer. Or just
Exactly.
And, I know even a couple guys here locally. One was some loose fifth wheel bolts. I think he posted one time. And Chad, I think it was Chad, I don't remember who it was, but he said, I looked at that a little bit closer, and guess what? I had a few of them working loose, and before it became an issue, it was caught. So
Exactly, and that's what I really enjoy hearing. In fact, it gives me the goosebumps because that's what I'm after. Is I'm not picking on that guy along the road, and I get a lot of that flack. Oh, you're just screwing with him. You're wasting his time. No, I try to ask him ahead of time. Hey, do you care if I take a picture, share this with others so they learn? 99.9% of the time, they are more than happy, and they would love to star in the video and say, "I'm Billy Bob with Billy Bob Trucking, and I screwed up." But I'm not wanting to do that. And exactly, it's something that when you go through your CDL testing, you're made to say certain things. But now I'm wanting you to back up and say, "Okay, this is real world. Let's actually follow that up." With
I know being in your position, and I've seen it on your Facebook page, there's always the guy out there that's always the quick one to spout off about how you're out there looking. But you've got a very, very true following of guys. You don't even have to defend yourself anymore. They kind of take care of it for you because everybody, you've earned the respect, and everybody knows that you're out there. Everybody understands you have a job to do, but you're also on their side as well as far as making sure they get home safe and the truck's in good shape and everything's compliant.
Exactly. And I'm the first one to back that guy up along the road. I had one video where we talked about securing an excavator, and I could sit here and bore you guys with all that, but basically a tracked excavator, you got the bucket out, tracks, bare minimum, you got to have the four corners, you got to have the tie down on the bucket, and we could sit there and argue every different which way. But I'm just saying, here's what's in the regs. Here's the bare minimum you got to have to satisfy us. So, and whether you want more or to hook into a track or not hooking to a track, hey, there's really nothing in the regs. I'm just trying to share,
and you and I have talked several times too that that regulation book can obviously be read and interpreted different ways.
Oh, absolutely.
And not saying that you should ever engage in an argument with an officer, but the driver being educated as well can help you roadside just by being knowledgeable. And
exactly, and I encourage that, guys. If in kind of like in Mike's situation here, hey, I'm new, I'm starting out. What can I do better? Even call me up a week later, going, would you mind to come out and take a look? Because some people would get all scared and worried and think, oh my gosh, you're going to come out and start writing me tickets. No.
Oh, I was.
Well, yeah. but real quickly you learn, okay, there's a time for that. And then there's a time for, you're nice enough to invite me onto home turf and say, hey, I want to do this right. What can I do to do this right?
My thought process is I would much rather have you come out, look my truck over in the shop, tell me what needs to be fixed, fix it on my own time in my own shop, and then it come along with a citation or a fine or an out of service out on the road, and you're out a lot more time, a lot more money, a lot more aggravation.
Exactly. A brake chamber you can replace here, slack adjuster you can place here for
air hoses chaffing.
Couple $100 is now a roadside service bill, $1,000 for something you could have done.
Right.
Exactly. But and that's through the education of showing guys, hey, when you're looking your truck over, check this, check for your wheels for cracks and brakes and rust and all that. But yeah, that's the gist of what I like to do in my page, because if you can get that information out there, and like I said, the professional drivers that see this, we're the ones you're really after, because your job's an attack from our side, attack from the trucking industry, attack from different drivers out there. You know who I'm talking about. So.
Well, good deal. You've been a huge help to me, and I appreciate all the information. I know I'll probably bug you at least every other week about some random question.
It keeps me on my toes, and I love it when you call and say, well, what about this? Well, give me a minute. Let me dig in the book and let me find out an answer.
I'm always the guy that has the oddball question.
Or in your case, you're like, I bought a 1958 trailer. I drug out of the weeds. What reflectors do I need on it? I don't know. Anybody else, Mike, would go and buy a 1990s trailer.
That's like 3 trailers ago. That's a distant memory.
Hey, that was a definite starter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I like to pick on you.
I'm pretty sure you looked at that one. I think your next question was, do you really want me to walk around it?
Yeah. It was like, I know a scrapyard didn't pick it up.
I think that's where it ended up. So.
But yeah, probably so.
All right, well, I'll get a link up to your page. You guys get a chance, definitely check it out. We're going to go work on some trucks.
Sounds good.